Yo, what is up, you guys? Hope everyone's doing good. Happy Sunday. Today's the 21st. So we got one more week left in December, basically. We got, Thanksgiving this Thursday, so we are off the 25th. The market won't be open. I believe the 24th and the 26th are normal days. There's no like half days or anything like that. So we do have a normal week into the market. And then next week is the beginning of December, which historically we have the quote Santa rally. And I've been talking about this for a bit, not only with Tesla potential Santa rally, which is what we're going to be talking about. I made that kind of like the front of this, talking about potential Santa rally for Tesla, since so many people want me to talk about Tesla every day, which is good. I like talking about it. But overall, is the market going to have a rally going into December? So as normal, every Sunday we do these streams, usually 3 p.m. If you guys have tickers you want me to look at, go ahead and throw them out. If you guys have any questions regarding trading, you guys throw it out. End of the day, this is your time, because I get so many comments from you guys asking me to go over different tickers that like I just don't have time to respond to every single comment. So like this is your guys' time. So we got an hour. And let's get through it. Let's see who's in the chat. Make sure you hit the like button too, guys, because it does help. This is a public stream, so it will help to put the algorithm to use. So hit the like button if you guys can. I got a few tickers I wanted to ask about, Bogdan. Hope we have time. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are going to want me to go over those, so we'll look at those as well. Chavez, bless you, bro. Thank you, man. Bless you as well. Half day Friday after Thanksgiving, I believe. Yeah, there might be a half day. Normally I do half days like Thursday or half days Friday, depending upon how it is. But we'll see. Seems likely Tesla will rally hard. Yeah, if you're looking at if you're watching, you're going to see this bull flag on Tesla right here that looks like it's going to break out. Rivian upstart. Pete, thoughts on, all right, let's just start with some of these things. So let's start with Tesla first. I am delayed here, so I'm gonna go through them slowly. So like I'm going to start with Bogdan, who was first. So if I didn't get to your ticker, we're gonna get there hopefully, and if not, then I'm just gonna go over them. If I already talked about something, I'll kind of just do a little update, and all of this is going to be recorded, so if you can't stay for the whole thing, or if I already talked about a ticker you want me to talk about, you can go back and take a look. Let's take a look. So looking at Tesla, made a video on this Friday, made a video on this Saturday as well. If you look at how this thing is setting up on the 4-hour, beautiful bull flag, massive push up, good pullback down to this support around 996, and then a continued push up here. Perfect ABCD pattern, which we talk about a lot on the channel. So you have A, you have B, you have C on this pullback, and then potential breakout here to like 1300 into the end of the year. So something right now that I do not have a position in, but it does look like we're going to have a really good continued breakout into December. The RSI is pointing straight up, which is beautiful. The MACD is going to cross on the daily and has crossed on the 4-hour, which is beautiful. The OBV is pointing up, which is beautiful. All we need is continued volume, and it looks like we will probably get there. Now, if you've been watching the channel for a bit, or you follow the other channel, so it's called Peter DeCarlo, it's more about long-term investing, but I do talk about tickers there. But I've been talking a lot about a continued breakout into the fourth quarter, like we're seeing right now, not only with Tesla, but with the market in general, and then probably a significant pullback in January, like first quarter of next year. I don't look at things within a day or a week or something. I usually look at things quarterly. A lot of people ask me like, hey, what do you think the stock's going to do tomorrow? Like when you're trying to time the market on a smaller scale, it is extremely hard as opposed to trying to time the market on a wider scale. That's why I like to trade wider time frames. But if you look at something like the S&P 500, we talked about this on this weekly time frame for a while now, continuing to break out. Same with Tesla. Like I think that January, February, March is going to be very weak for the market. Traditionally, it is very weak. But we'll see how things go. Seasonality Tesla. So if you guys are already part of the Discord, go check it out. If you're not part of the Discord, it is completely free, but the bot that I'm using right here is a seasonality bot for Tesla. You can type any stock you want. So you just type TR seasonality and then the ticker you want. This is going to show you historical data on what are the best months statistically for a specific ticker. And you can see here, November is a very good month for Tesla. We've had a very good month for Tesla. December is about 60%. January is a great month for Tesla as well. But then look, February is the worst month in Tesla, and March is not good at all. So just judging about how the charts are looking specifically on the weekly for something like Tesla, as well as seasonality, it does seem like we should see Tesla continue to rally, but I do think Q1 is going to be pretty weak across the board. TR seasonality SPY. It should give me SPY. Yeah, and you can see here for SPY, November, December, great months. January is pretty weak, 50-50, and then February and March is pretty decent too. So overall, I do think we're going to see some weakness in the market going in the next couple of months. All right, let's go through this. Let's start to see Bogdan. All right, let's go through some tickers. IBM. Gonna try to keep these relatively quickly and just give like price points and not do full-on analysis, because I just don't know if we're gonna have enough time. We have way more people in here than like I normally expect, which is just amazing. But let's take a look at this. So one of the first things I do, since I have not really looked at this thing in a while, is the first thing I always do is go to a 1 year, and then I'm going to draw a Fibonacci. So we just get some good lines here based upon like where we will be watching within the next couple of weeks. So if we put this Fibonacci out here, you can see that we do have a very strong support, and I will actually line this out here. So a very, very strong support down here at 110. And you can see this also lines up with the Fibonacci line as well. We did have a little support right here at 118, 120. We did break that. RSI is still pointing down. OBV is still pointing down. It's looking like IBM is probably going to drop to $110. We did have this good hammer doji here, but if I had to guess, I would think over the next month or so, we are probably going to see this thing, unfortunately, continue to drop. It just looks like the probability of it bouncing here is pretty low. I'm trying to make these lines a little brighter for you guys, because I feel that it's probably hard to see this on stream, as opposed to like, I try to keep the lines light so I don't have a lot of stuff clogging up my charts. All right, let's go through. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. It's a little brighter. But yeah, so we're underneath this price point right here of 118. I assume IBM is probably going to drop to 110. That's where I would expect this thing to go. Disney, I currently have a position in Disney right now. We are holding this last support at 154. We broke this trend line here, which I'm not a major fan of. So we have to hold 154. I think we will bounce, but if we don't, like I personally have a stop loss set around 151, 150. If we snap 150, Disney is definitely dropping to 140. So we are in a worrisome territory here. Alibaba, I was going to make a video on this. I just don't like this. Like, I don't like investing in Chinese companies. I really don't. There's so much risk. If there was a company that I would be buying that's a China-based company, it would be Alibaba. But like, we are at a major support level here at 140, and if we snap this, it will aggressively sell off to about 100 and 110. For me personally, I don't think Baba is worth the risk. And if you do want to go in, I would definitely say go in with a smaller position, like a lot smaller, something you'd be willing to lose 50, 60, 70% of with shares. Looking at Snapchat, another position I currently have right now, we broke this support at 56, and I've been talking to the private mentorship group and the premium members in our Discord who get access to the trades, and I've been saying that we have this bearish flag here, and there's probably a much bigger chance that Snapchat's going to dump to 49, then bounce, and I still stand by that. A lot of people might ask, why would I enter a position if I think it's going to continue to fall? Just because things don't actively bounce at certain price points every time. Like if we just look at every time, for instance, here that we've bounced off of this support for Snapchat, these times we came down right to this support line and bounced, but there's times before where we bounced right before it. So that's why I always enter positions in stages. I talk about that a lot, but Snapchat looks like it's going to drop to 49.50, but I do think over the next couple of months, Snapchat is going to do very, very well. And that's why I have a position. Mike, Rivian. Let's talk about Rivian. Yeah, so I had a position in Rivian after making a video saying I wasn't going to take a position in Rivian, but there was a lot of calls on Thursday. I took a position at 127. It snapped the support. I stopped out. I lost like 150 bucks. It wasn't crazy. And then it recovered, came up to this Fibonacci line and rejected. The fact that we rejected on the 50% Fibonacci line is not a good sign. Basically, if a stock is trending above the top 50% of a Fibonacci, it's bullish. If it's trading below the 50% Fibonacci, it's bearish. And one thing you will notice is we do have an inverted head and shoulders. I don't like Rivian here. I think it's probably going to sell off next week to 113 and potentially even to $95. I can definitely be wrong because there's so much volatility here, and like looking at technicals on something that is this small because it just IPO'd, we don't have much data, is not accurate. So I'll tell you that myself. It is not accurate when you have that little information. But for me, it's just not worth the risk on Rivian short term. If you are a long-term investor in Rivian, that is completely different. Abel, seems like me like Tesla will rally hard. I do agree with you. Let me see. Social trading, Upstarts, take a look. So Upstart's been getting a lot of buys. We have a options technical analysis bot, like I've said before, that does throw out a lot of golden sweeps and large sweeps. And Upstart has been one that has been getting hit a lot. Let me see if I can go back and check. So there were some good Upstart calls that came through here. What was this date? 11/19. And they came out for like 1/20/2023. So these are leaps, and this was for about $500,000 worth of calls. Looking at Upstart for like the next couple of months, I actually really like it. Looking at Upstart for the next couple of weeks, I don't like it. We have this major trend line here on this weekly chart. But if we look at the longer time frame, the RSI is pointing straight down. It's not a good sign. MACD is crossed to the downside. Not a good sign. And it just crossed too. OBV is pointing straight down. Not a good sign. I think in the next couple of weeks, Upstart will drop to 175. And then from there, rally and bounce off that support. And probably out until March, we'll be back up at $300-400. And I think that it's a very good buy down at like 172, 173. So shorter term, not looking too hot. Longer term, next couple of months looking very good. Let me see. Ahmed, what are your thoughts on PLBY? Thanks for all you do. I love your videos and just join the Discord. Dude, thank you so much. That's what we're here for, to help each other out, because this industry, as much as I love it and I've dedicated my life to it, there is a lot of fuckery in it, and I'm not a fan of it. But yeah, so let's take a look at PLBY. First thing I do whenever I look at a ticker I've never looked at, which is this, I've never actually looked into PLBY. I just start to mark off major supports and resistances. It's the first thing I like to do, so I get a good idea of what I'm really watching here. First thing I'll do is drop a Fibonacci, so we get some major trend lines. And you can see, obviously, it works out pretty perfectly. Fibonacci is one of my favorite tools for swing trading. You can see that at this point, looking at a weekly chart, we are above the 0.50% or 50% price point. So that's a $36. That's a very good sign. RSI is pointing up. MACD is crossed on the weekly. OBV is pointing up. This thing looks solid. Not a perfect entry, really. If you're already in it, like best entry would have been down at $30. If you're already in it, I would definitely let it run. As far as entering here, the risk is not as hot as it versus the reward that it was earlier in the past couple of months, or earlier in the week even, because we did gap up here on the 15th. But it does look like it's going to run. It looks like we're probably going to see PLBY run to 50, 52 by the end of the year, potentially even further. But it is looking very good. Good eye. Do you think Rivian's going to tank after the Ford news came up? Yeah, I don't think, we kind of talked about it a bit, but I don't think Rivian is going to hold here. I really don't, unfortunately. Hopefully for a lot of people who are in this, it does, but I think that there's a much higher chance we're going to drop to 100. Potentially down to 95. I did not even see any news considering Ford. Ford, Rivian. Okay, let's take a look at it now. Ford and Rivian have dropped plans to jointly develop an electrical vehicle. Ford confirmed on Friday. We respect Rivian, have had extensive exploratory discussions with them. A spokesperson told Reuters, however, both sides have agreed to not pursue any kind of joint vehicle development and platform sharing. It probably will. I mean, the issue is when you have something, and this is why I don't, I've been trading for so long, I don't need to trade specific things like a Rivian IPO where like, yes, you can make a ton of money, but you have to understand the amount of risk that you have. And we have to hold this support here at 130. If we don't tomorrow, there's gonna be a lot of blood. I'll trim a small amount maybe. First question, is it worth buying Tesla now for the long run? That's a very good question. A lot of you guys will probably hate me for saying this. So here's the thing. You have to first define to yourself, who is this? Danielis? I'm sorry if I butchered your name. You have to think to yourself this: what is long-term to you? Or what is long run to you, right? This is a question you have to think to yourself. To me, long-term is like 5 years. Like, just because that's just my risk profile and how long I think of a long-term investment, right? If long-term to you is 20 years, yes, it's a good investment in my opinion. It is very volatile. It will be very risky. It might drop back down to fucking who knows. It might go up to who knows, right? It's very volatile. But I do believe in this company long-term over the next 20, 30 years. If long-term to you is 5 years or 3 years, I don't think this is the best time to be buying Tesla if you're planning to hold it for 3 years or less. I really don't, because I think that we can continue to rally, but I just won't be surprised if we get a correction in the next couple of months and Tesla pulls back down to 840. I think that like if you have a true long-term investing standpoint on this company, it's great. But if you're trying to like hold it for the next couple of years, I don't think it's the best idea. I think in general, long-term investing in the stock market right now, if you're planning to hold for less than 2 years, is not the best idea. I was talking to my friend about that yesterday because he's looking to buy a property, and we were kind of talking about like, well, what do I do with the money for the down payment that I'm planning? And I was like, honestly, normally I would say put it in the stock market, but I really don't know if you want to just hold money in the market for the next year or two, because I do think we're going to see a correction. Not so much that I'm like grabbing puts and stuff, but I do think there's a lot more risk if you're planning to get into Tesla now and hold it for less than 3 years. And I feel like most long-term bulls on Tesla would agree with me. D Young, hello Pete, what's up? Dave, Pfizer, let's take a look at Pfizer, PFE. So Pfizer, let's take a look at the weekly first. Not bad. Like MACD, RSI, OBV is looking good. Definitely not a time to enter Pfizer, in my opinion, but if you're already in it, could allow it to run. Sorry, I need some water. We could be getting a little cup and handle here, because we are double topping at like 50. If you're already in it, I would hold it, but if you're not already in it, personally, I don't think it's a great entry. Super like, thank you all day. Mara, let's take a look at Mara TC. Mara, not bad, but I do think ultimately it's probably going to end up pulling back down to 44, maybe $40. Looking like we're approaching that major trend line now. And it does look like we're rejecting on this 11 EMA and this 22 EMA. And I feel that it's probably going to pull back down to $40. And I think $40 is a great entry on Mara. So I ultimately think it's probably going to pull back at least to 45. Zim. See, I like charts like this, right? Very stable, very strong, great trend line. Very good to just buy at the trend line and push up. Zim is another one. I wouldn't enter Zim here. If you were buying Zim at 48, 49, let that baby ride. That is looking very good, but I wouldn't be entering Zim right here. I don't think the risk is worth the reward, because it looks like it will probably push up to 63, 64, 65, which is like a 10 to 15% return, but just back down to support, you're risking a 13% loss. So for me, not the best entry. Very nice chart though, looking very good. Nikola Motors, NKLA. Let's take a look, Marcos. Man, this is a tough one, honestly. This thing was such a massive IPO. Well, not IPO, but basically when we broke out on the 24th. All right, so let's look at some bullish and bearish things going on here. We have a descending wedge, which is one of my favorite positions or favorite trade setups to have. So we have a very nice descending wedge here on the weekly. There is no divergence though. Actually, let me zoom in. There might be. No, there's no divergence. It made a lower low. So descending wedge, potential reversal sign, but the RSI is pointing down, MACD is pointing down, and it looks like the MACD might cross to the downside, and the OBV is pointing down. This is tough. This is very risky. I don't like, if you guys are part of the Discord or the private mentorship group, you know I don't like timing reversals. There are times where I will take a risk to time a potential reversal. I don't normally like to time these, especially with something like Nikola that has been beaten up, and we have the whole like Trevor Milton shit that happened last year. Like it's a very, 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 very risky deal. Trading this. Normally when a stock has just been getting beat to shit, it's going to continue to get beaten. So I personally wouldn't touch it. It's kind of the same thing with Wish. I've been very hesitant to try to time the bottom on Wish. I was scalping this not too long ago. We played this move here on the 19th to the 20th, basically from 514 to 6, and then look what happened. It made a lower low. So for me, I would probably not touch Nikola personally. Marcos, 1500 till December 21st. What was that for? I can't remember. 1500 till December 21st. Is that supposed to be calls on Tesla? All right, Matthew Allen, NVIDIA. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. A lot of buying has been happening on NVIDIA. If you're part of the premium Discord, you know I've been posting these calls on NVIDIA for a while now. Not worth entering. Like, it's not worth entering here. If you're in it, you can definitely allow it to run, but to me, it's just not worth entering a position at this moment. There's too much downside to potential upside right now. So for me, I would not be touching this at this very moment. Like I said, doesn't mean it's not going to continue to run. We definitely can continue to run, especially with the amount of buying that's been coming into this thing. But it's, for me, just not worth the risk. I traded AMD last week because semis were getting a lot of buys. Looking at like the next couple of days though, MACD attempted to cross but pushed back up. RSI is pointing up, OBV is pointing up. I wouldn't be surprised if this ran to 340, 350, but just not worth entering in my opinion right now. If you're already in it, do it up, but not worth entering. Boeing. Tim, what's up, my man? I like Boeing a lot. I entered a position on Boeing Friday. Big money has been buying the living crap out of Boeing. Let me see if I can post the flow. On the 19th, we got some big flows. Oh, no, this is what I want here. There we go. So there's a lot of buying on Boeing on the 19th, and there was a lot of buying on Friday for Boeing on Black Box. It's going to give you a better understanding. This is not free, but it will give you a better understanding. There was a lot of good buying on Boeing going into the morning, and on Thursday, Boeing dropped about 4%, so I decided I would take a position. I really, really like Boeing here. I do think that it could drop down to 205, but I think we will bounce off of 205, and I do think we'll see Boeing within the next couple of months back up to 278. I don't think we're going to snap this major trend line that we're on right now. So Boeing looks very good here. I like Boeing a lot. What about Amazon, bro? What's up, Matt? Let's take a look. So Amazon, talking about this with the group too. Amazon and Netflix both move in sort of the same pattern. So if we look at Netflix here, let me actually draw this out as well. They move in like horizontal flags. So we tend to see consolidation for about a year and a half, massive breakout, consolidation for a year and a half, massive breakout, consolidation for a year and a half, massive breakout. Same situation with Amazon, right? Last time we had a consolidation basically from March of 2018 to April of 2018 or 2020. So that's 2 years. 2-year-long consolidation, massive breakout. Now we're on another 2-year-long consolidation, looking for a massive breakout. Looking at the weekly chart, RSI pointing up, MACD's crossing, OBV is pointing up, volume is holding fucking steady. I love Amazon here. There is a chance we could have a false breakout, but on a longer time frame for the next 3 to 6 months, I really like Amazon. Looks very, very good. Very, very good. Let me see. Thoughts on financial stocks: Visa, Citigroup, social stocks, Twitter, Snap. Yeah, so I have positions in all of them. But big money's been buying the crap out of financials. They've been buying the crap out of social media recently, and they've been buying a lot of travel. So a lot of like LVS and a lot of other stuff. I don't want to give it away. LVS I do think is going to drop to $35 first, but I like them all. Like Visa is the one that I'm very very hesitant about, and I'm not a fan of. Looking at it from a technical standpoint, we snapped this trend line and we could drop down to 192, but I'm going to try to see if tomorrow or the next couple of days we can gap back up to over 205. That's very important. So Visa is a little worrisome. Citigroup, bullish pennant, sitting here for a while, looking like we're going to bounce off 65, not worried about that. Mastercard broke this support. I was holding Mastercard for a while and sold it up around 362, but looking like we're going to try to bounce at 340. Social media is looking good, but it does look like we could see a continued pullback, like Twitter, for instance, which we were talking about. Twitter is trying to hold this last line of support here at 49, 48. I will cut this if we don't, but I do think we're going to try to get back up over this support. We'll see how that moves. Snapchat, we already went over. Snapchat's probably going to drop to 49 and then bounce. And Pinterest is another one that big money's buying the living crap out of, which I think we're going to bounce on Pinterest around 44. So that's not looking bad at all. MVIS was looking very solid here around the 10th and the 11th of November, looking like we are going to break out. Did reject. I think MVIS will probably pull back to $7, and then we will attempt to take a bounce off of 7. But it does look like we might see a push down the next couple of days. Stock split on the 9th of December. Stock split for what company? M3 Performance. Sorry, when you guys, because when I'm like definitely delayed here because I'm like there's a lot of shit below me. So M3 Performance, and when you type that, like I don't know what it's on. But let me know what you think. Stock split on. A lot of people are saying stock split for Tesla. Oh, Amazon. Yeah, I mean, I would see Amazon splitting. I think they should do a stock split, but I don't think they ever have. Same with Tesla. A stock split, honestly, is not that big of a deal like it was back in the day. So, like, back in the day, you couldn't really buy fractional shares. And so it was a huge incentive to have people, or have companies split so that this way you could buy shares if you had a smaller portfolio, It's not that big of a deal now because like 95% of brokers, you can just buy a piece of a stock. The difference is though, however, that it helps the options market because it's more affordable. Like options on Amazon are insane just because of how like the price of the underlying stock, right? Even if they did like a 10-to-1 split, they can make Amazon $360 a share. Which would be crazy. Same with like a Tesla, like a 10-to-1 split, $100 share or something. Alrighty. Thek, Cassava, can you look at this? Yeah, so Cassava had this really good descending wedge, good breakout, and then we came right up. We tried to fill the gap up to 116. We tapped resistance, pulled back down. We are at a good support here at 42, but I would say 38 is the best entry if you want to enter Cassava. I can definitely do a Cassava video long term, but it looks like Cassava might drop down to $38 before trying to bounce. Amazon all-time highs Monday could definitely happen. Looking over the next couple of months, though, it is looking pretty damn good, honestly. But we'll see what happens here going into the next couple of weeks. But Amazon looks really, really good. Let me see. All right, what's next? Let me see. Let me go back up. Cassava, 1,200 in December, split of 1 to 10, $120 a piece. Marcos, yeah, that would be dope. Amazon, we already did that. Someone said something about Neo News. If I saw that. All right, can we check Roblox? Let's take a look at Roblox. Fucking nuts on Roblox. Holy crap. This was a stock I did a long-term video on the main channel, and I talked about how I loved this company. I thought this company could be massive, and just fucking congrats. Like, just congrats if anyone's in this. Amazing company. I would definitely not be buying now. If you are in it, you can allow profits to ride. But I would not be buying it now, to be quite honest. Here's what I would do. If I was a long-term investor in Roblox and I was buying Roblox down at $70, like I was talking about, I would sell half of my position. This is what I would personally do, not telling you guys what to do. But for me, if I had 5-10 grand in Roblox like I planned at $70 Now that it's up at 140, I would sell half and then I would hold the rest of that position for the rest of my life, because for the rest of my life, I would basically have those free shares. And if they went to 0, whatever, it was free. If it goes to 1,000, it was free. I love Roblox though, and I love their business model. When I think about Neo news, that's where it was. I didn't see any news on Neo. I talked about I think they did like a $2 billion deal out of market. I didn't see it though. If someone can let me know though. I didn't see any news on Neo. We can actually just go to this news section here. Brief. Neo completes at the market offering of American Depository shares. They announced the completion of at market offering of American Depository shares. Oh, when was this? This is on Friday. Battery swap startup. Okay. Neo looks like it's gonna probably drop down to 34. I think it was up to 39 after hours. We could bounce here, and we have to get through 42, but I think there's a higher chance of this dropping to 34 first. Tony, let's take a look at Nike. Man, freaking Nike. It's been just a great investment if you're holding this long term. Looking at Nike though, another one, if you're in it, let it roll. I would hold on to it. But as far as entering a position here, I don't know if it's really worth the risk. We have a very, very strong support down here that we bounce off of 146. Looking at the weekly too, we're pretty far off of this trend line where we would have this. It looks like Nike will probably continue to run within the next couple of months, but I just don't really know if it's worth entering. If you're in it, hold it. But if not, I don't think it's a bad investment for the next couple of months, but if you're trying to trade it for the next couple of months, I don't think it's bad. But trying to time this breakout here from 175 up to 186, just hold it. Snapchat, already went over that, Tony. I think it's going to drop down to that support and then bounce. I think 45 down at 49. UAA. Under Armour. Under Armour's same situation sort of as Nike. We're trading around those 52-week highs. The one thing that's different with Under Armour that we have with Nike is, let's pop this line here. What do we got going on here? What is this, guys? A little janky, but a nice little cup and handle. And you could also say an inverted head and shoulders here too. The weekly looks strong. It looks like we'll probably see a push up within the next couple of months up to $40 on Under Armour. I like Under Armour a lot. Looks really good. Really, really good. They actually have a gap fill up to $40 that we could hit too. If you got a couple months, Under Armour looks very, very solid here. Very, very solid. Probably fill the gap up to $40 by May, June. Just buy Baba, no worries. I mean, it's definitely a very good potential long-term investment. Just there's a shitload of risk around it, and that's my thing. If you like risk, do it up. There's massive potential reward as well. Moderna, who was this? Ella, what's up, Ella? Moderna's in a weird situation here. This is a good example of why I usually start to buy properties. Why I start to buy positions a little early. So looking at Moderna here, bouncing off of this support for a very long time, obviously broke out. We have a 200-day SMA here. RSI is pointing up. MACD just crossed. OBV is pointing up. It looks like Moderna, as long as we can hold 260, is probably going to break out again. Probably fill the gap up to 340. Best entry is down at this trend line at 209, but it does look like we're going to probably break out here. So this is a perfect example of why I grab stuff in stages. I would be starting a position around here at 265 and then adding at 212 and then cutting at 175. But it does look very good. Rivian Boss, we already went over it. I think unfortunately it's going to drop. LGVN. I would personally not touch this. I have no clue. I have no clue what this company does. I don't at all. But this thing has been massively downtrending basically since IPO back in February. Little resistance here at 8 that we're over. Final little resistance. I just wouldn't touch it. If you're already in it, you can let it run, but not something I would personally be entering here. Sage. Social Trading, LC Lending Club. Let's take a look at the Lending Club. So this is actually a good example of a stock that was just in a massive downtrend that like actually is recovering on a longer time frame. Okay, so for the past year, this thing has been doing well, very consistent move up. We have a gap down here at 36. RSI is pointing straight down, MACD is pointing straight down, OBV is pointing straight down. I think that we're probably going to snap this support at 40, and I think Lending Club is going to drop down to 34, and then from there we're going to bounce and move up over the next couple of months. We could break out here. We are trying to make like a little bull flag like this, but the issue is we're not doing a good job of holding. Tomorrow and Tuesday will be very, very important. Who was it? Social trading. Tomorrow and Tuesday will be very, very important with Lending Club. We have to hold 40. If we could see a consolidation at 40 or a strong bounce at 40, and we can start to see these other indicators like the 4-hour, you can see here like the 4-hour RSI is trying to bottom out. If that can happen, then we could see a pushback up. But if that doesn't happen, we're probably going to drop and fill that gap. What's with Amazon? Next couple of months, I think it's gonna be very good. Talked about that. SE, C Limited, man. Big money's been buying the living shit out of this for the long term, but I've not seen anything for a long time on this. I think it's a good buy. You're not looking at like a massive return here, but this trend line, aka the 200-day SMA as well, very, very good support. Every single time we bounce off of this, it's every single time we come down, we bounce off this. I don't think it's a bad move at all. Best entry would be if you could hold out till 284, but looking very good. Affirm. Affirm is a tough one. Big money's been buying the living crap out of this. It looks like it could drop to 127, but they've been buying a ton of calls out until the next couple of months, like really out until March. So I think short term, we might see this thing drop again. But I think longer term, like, you know, next couple of months, I think we're going to see this thing really, really break out again. So best entry is down at 127, but it's looking solid, looking very good. PTLO. I don't know. This is an IPO. I don't like to trade IPOs because there's really not a lot to go off of. Good little trend line here. So you could say this is a good entry. Not something I would touch, but not a bad entry here at 44, and I'd probably set a stop loss at 40. What is this app, David? This is TradingView. This is TradingView. I just have it on the daytime instead of the nighttime one. Lucid, Batman. Let's take a look. I talked about this yesterday. I made a video on Lucid. I think Lucid's going to break out to 64, 65, 66. Now, I wouldn't touch it, though. I think that we're going to see another breakout, and then this thing is going to really crater, unfortunately. I could definitely be wrong, but I think we're going to see a breakout, and then it really drop. Prague. Let's take a look at Prague. Prague, this is a great example of a descending wedge, bull divergence, timing a bottom. Good resistance here. We just have to hold 350. If we can hold over 350, which we're doing a good job, next couple of months, we should be able to see this move up to $9. I like this. If you have some time on your hands, this is good. Just hold Tesla long term. Stop predicting where it's going. Okay, I mean, yeah, if you're a long-term investor, that's great, but if you're a trader, you might want to know where it's going. But yeah, I mean, holding it long term is not a bad idea. 2 years for me, Danielis. I think you were the one who said, is Tesla good to buy right now? If you're planning to hold for 2 years, personally, you know, just a dude on YouTube. But personally, I would personally not put my money in Tesla right now for the next 2 years. If I had more time, hell yeah. But 2 years is very volatile. You'd have to be okay with it dropping 20, 30% or ripping, you know, more. Like it's just very volatile for that short of a time frame. In 2 years, it's going to be at $3,000. Let's fucking hope so. That'd be amazing. Hey, Peter. Hey, what's up, Siren? How you doing, my friend? Thanks for the response. No problem, man. Neo. So, Neo, we talked about it. I think it's going to drop to 34. But over the next couple of months, like if we look at NEO for the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, I think we're going to be back up at 55 to 68. Looks very good, but we might test support one more time. Nvidia, put for next week on Nvidia. Jose, I would not get a put on Nvidia. I never go against breakouts. So like as much as I think Nvidia is way overextended here, I do not recommend going against a breakout. Like look at Tesla. Imagine like Tesla, like let's be honest here. Tesla looks very, very overextended, but imagine if you got puts on this thing, like you'd be getting killed. I don't go against stocks. I really don't, unless it's with the trend, unless it's a stock that has been trending down for a very, very long time. Armin, Mastercard versus Visa. That's a good question. I like Mastercard better here, honestly, especially at this price point. Like we're probably going to bounce at this support at like 340. TSM, what's up, Wayne? I like TSM a lot. Yeah, I like TSM a lot. It's been just freaking sitting here. Like it keeps looking like we're going to get a breakout and then we don't. I like TSM though. If you got some time on your hands, TSM looks really good. Weekly chart, RSI pointing up, MACD crossed, OBV looking like we should push up to 140 in the next couple of months. Looking very good. Who's calling me right now? Okay. How low can SDC go? Jeremy, that was a good question, my friend. I have to do a long-term analysis on this again. It has been a while, but it can go pretty fucking low. Looking at the technicals on the weekly, what is this? Inverted cup and handle. We saw the same situation set up with Activision, and Activision fucking cratered as well. I unfortunately think Small Direct Club could go down to $2. I really do. I have to look into this company long-term again. It's been like about 2 years, but we'll see what happens. But it can definitely go pretty low. I do have a small position in it. I just saw Danelis said the free Discord link in the description does not work. Is it only me? I'll put it here for you guys. It's in the chat, and I'll change the one within the link too. I think they have like a 7-day thing to where like after 7 days it doesn't work. But I put the link to the Discord if you guys want to join. It's completely free in the chat. But so let's see. Facebook, Rivian. I personally wouldn't touch myself right now. Facebook, man, phenomenal. We've been talking about Facebook for a while now. Inverted head and shoulders. RSI pointing up, like fucking Facebook's fantastic. Probably gonna push up to 380, 400 in the next couple of months. I really, really like it. Wayne, Microsoft. I mean, I'll never say anything bad about Microsoft. I really won't. It looks very, very overextended though. And not worth the risk for me to personally get into, but big money has been buying it. So I don't necessarily think it's like a bad idea. But for me, it's just not something I'm buying right now. It looks like Microsoft could definitely pull back down to 300 again before we make another significant move up. But that's just me. Disca, hold or get out before the next correction. Disca's tough. I'm still holding Disca. I've been holding that for a long time. But we'll see. Like I bought it and I had every intention of this thing just crashing. But it's really up to you. Like I don't think this thing is going to break out the way that they were buying it. Big money was buying this thing heavy for a while. And I don't really know if it's going to happen. Boss Rutan. I don't know if you guys know who Boss Rutan is. What's up, boss? Uber. I have a position in Uber. I really, really like Uber. Uber looks very good for the next couple of months. I have shares. Nice bull flag. Looking good. Just needs to get over $48. Looks very, very good though. Bogdan, do you have any stocks you have your eye on or want to enter on Monday? Yeah, so without giving away everything, we do have a private mentorship group, which I don't promote really anymore because I don't want to, like, I work directly with a lot of people there and I don't want to have like thousands and thousands of people there. But we do have a premium role in our Discord, so you can get access to all of our trades, but to not give everything away. Some things I am looking at right now as an entry would be Uber. Like I have Uber right now, but I do really like Uber for the next couple of weeks here. I really do like Citigroup at this support here. Hilton, big money has been buying the shit out of like Hilton and Hyatt. Hyatt, I wish I would have bought down at the support. I really do like that. LI Auto for the next couple of months. And Oatly. I really like Oatly. That's my dark horse. I talk about how I don't like stocks that are going, getting the shit beat out of them. I really like Oatly. The amount of money that Big Money has been buying into Oatly is fucking insane. I was going to squeeze my profits out yesterday. I was up 10%, but I think Oatly can definitely move another 40, 50, 60% in the next couple of months. So Oatly, I'm definitely watching too. Siren, what's up with the recent small cap and tech sell-off? No support seems to be holding. Yeah, it could just, honestly, it really could just be a market. Where do I go? Hold on. There we go. A sector rotation. So like if you've noticed, like a lot of small caps have been getting killed, but like FANG has been getting pushed heavy. So like, Facebook's been doing well. Apple's been fucking doing amazing. Amazon, like Tesla. So I think it's just a rotation. But I do have a good amount of small caps right now. So we'll see. Let me see. Good question, Siren. Yes, very good question. Lucid, unfortunately, I think Lucid is going to push up one more time, Batman, and I think it's going to drop after that. I would not be touching Lucid. A lot of people have been asking me, like, should I sell? Personally, I would be taking profits. I did take profits too early, but I would be taking profits personally. It's not worth the risk. That's what you have to think about. Like, you guys, I really wish I didn't name the channel Traders Helping Traders because I don't like the word trader. I like the helping. I don't really like the word trader. I like the word portfolio manager because that's what we do. Trading sounds like you're in and out of things all the time. Like that's not what we do. Like you're portfolio manager. And what I'll say is for you guys as portfolio managers, your job is to not lose money. Like capital is your fucking lifeblood and your goal is to not lose capital. And so that's why I always say risk isn't worth the reward. Risk isn't worth the reward. Juice isn't worth the squeeze, right? Yes, Lucid could push up another 20, 30, 40, 50%. Yes, I could be wrong, but there is a much higher probability that Lucid will probably push up one more time and then drop significantly. And I don't want anyone holding the bag. CC, Kenmore's company, who was this? Mudlifters Jeep Club. What's up? Is that Preston? Oh, that's Preston. Preston likes Jeeps. Yeah, I fucking love CC. I love CC a lot. Weekly chart, fucking perfection. Daily chart, perfection. Good bull flag. We just need volume. Yeah, really, really good move. I really like that a lot. Good job. Do you like PayPal right now? I do not. Call for... Oh, actually, hang on here. I didn't realize this thing crapped so bad on Friday. Yeah, so a lot of people were asking me in the beginning of the week, and I said I think PayPal is going to drop to 188. I was right. Not bad for the next 6 months. I do think we will try to hold 190, but here's how I would play this. Who is this? Our Lives. Here's how I would personally play this. I would enter the calls, between 190 and right now, and I would set a hard stop loss at 175. A hard stop loss. Because if this thing closes multiple sessions or multiple weeks below 190, it is going to crater down to 150. So I would definitely have a tight stop loss, but it's not bad. Affirm and PTLO. We went over PTLO. I said I wouldn't really touch it, but it's not a bad entry here to enter at 44 and then set a stop loss at 40. Affirm we went over as well. I think Affirm could drop to 127, but then bounce. I do have a position in Firm right now for the next couple of months. Arc and Lust. I don't know if I said your name right. Hey man, love your content. Have you done Palantir, Moderna? Thanks for all you do. Your Tesla and Palantir vids. I love your TA. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Have you done Palantir? So we did Moderna. Moderna does look like it's probably going to break out. Best entry would be down at 225. I don't know if we're going to get there, but it does look good for the next couple of months. And what was the other one you were looking at? Moderna or Peloton. Man, Peloton has just, what a fall from grace for Peloton. Peloton's tough, man. This company is one of those companies that it just had such a rise because of certain conditions like the coronavirus and people being stuck at home. But then at the end of the day, it really is just like a $3,000 bike that you still have to pay $40 a month for, that only like, you know, rich middle class, well, I don't want to say rich, but like certain types of people can afford. I don't like it from a trading perspective. I would say that if you really want to enter this position, this is not a bad time. This is definitely no longer a bull flag here. We would have had to have bounced at the 0.50 for this to be a flag. I would say if you really want to enter this, you can enter it. Obviously, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but I would definitely set a stop loss at $40. Because if not, we're gonna drop down to $20, and that's gonna be very ugly. So I would be very careful, but this is not a bad time to purchase this for a longer time frame. Affirm, PTLO, we already went over that. ISGR. I'm gonna have to start going through these a little faster because we only have 10 minutes left. ISRG, I'm sorry, ISRG. Not bad. You know, very, 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 very consistent upward trend. If we look at the longer time frame, it does look like we could pull back. Honestly, for me, not something I would enter, but doesn't look bad. I think best entry on ISGR is 304. I don't know if we're gonna get there though. PaySafe. What is the ticker for PaySafe? Like, can I just type it? PaySafe. Yeah, there we go. PSFE. I know a lot of people ask about this. I don't like this. Like, I talked about this before, but I do not like timing bottoms. And it's not like this thing's been holding a support for a bit. I personally would not touch PaySafe right now. I don't know anything about it long term. I'm just saying from a trading perspective, I would not be touching PaySafe. One day I'll buy puts. 2022 is the year of puts. This is true, Lissa. 2022, the beginning is probably not going to be good. Google, same situation here as like Amazon, but breaking out. Google, I think, is going to run really nicely for the next couple of months. Like I said, big money's been cycling into FANG. Real life Nas, any update with BNGO, bro? Appreciate your videos, thank you. Yeah, BNGO, just like NNDM, like it just needs volume, and we just don't have any volume here. We are underneath the support at $5, which I don't like. We are at this last support at 430, so there's just no volume. There's just no buying, and in order for you to end up having this thing move up, you need other people to buy it. Like, you need big money to buy it. Like, we can't move the market, so you need big money to buy it, and there just is no buying. But not a bad entry at $4.20. We just have to hold this support. Can you give us a quick update on NEO, as it's been held down for quite some time? Next 3 to 6 months, I really like NEO. Next couple of weeks, I think it's probably going to drop to 34, but we'll see. What do you think of Rivian, Nokia lover? I think Rivian's probably going to drop here going into the week. And next week. I'm not a huge fan. Danny, can I ask clarification? Why would Sava drop below $45? Great question. Just simply because there's not buying coming in. If that's like a good enough example. There is no support here. There is a little support at 44, but the major support down here is at $39, which from a psychological standpoint is probably where big money is going to continue to buy this at. There's just not been enough buying. We had this nice push up when we had I think it was like Institute of Neuroscience, whatever, came out and basically said that there was no lying about their Alzheimer drug. And then this thing just quickly snapped right back. So I think best entry would be down at 40 because that's psychologically where the big buying point is. LMND. Broke major support of 60. Looking like LMND is probably going to go down to 47, unfortunately. NEO, we already went over that. Baba got slapped again last week by the Chinese government. Yes, unfortunately, Baba is very, 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 very risky. Did I miss Palantir? I'm a little late. It's all good, Chris. I actually didn't talk about Palantir. Palantir is looking to try to bounce here off of this support. I do not think Palantir is going to break $20. I think over the next couple of months, Palantir should do fine. We finally hit that support. Buy or sell Lucid. Personally, if I had a position in Lucid, I would be taking profits. Stevo, Fubo, shares at $23.50 cost average. Good idea to DCA or cut my losses. I actually really like Fubo long term. That being said, we did snap this support at 22. Fubo could drop down to $14. So you have to say to yourself, if you truly believe in the company, are you okay with it dropping to 14? Right? Are you okay with watching that happen to your portfolio? If the answer is yes, not bad at all. I actually like Fubo long term, but it is very volatile. This is one of those companies that's very, very volatile. Neo, I think it's going to drop down to 34, but next couple of months can be fine. Buy or sell Lucid. I would sell Lucid. Seb, EQNR. It's not bad. Very good support. Good little bull flag. It's not bad at all. This is stuff I like to see. We are under this fib, so it looks like it could drop down to 23, but we have to get above and hold above 25 by tomorrow. But that does look very good. Very, very good. Google, I think we're going to have a good couple of months. GGPI, a lot of people were asking about this last week. Gapped up, and now we are selling off. I think GGPI will probably drop back down to 13. Palantir, I think we're going to see a hold here around the support of 20 to 21, and then a bounce in the next couple of weeks. Steve O, SQ entry point. This one's tough, man. It really tried to get back above 240. I unfortunately think if we don't hold 225, SQ is dropping down to 192. Unfortunately. So you could enter here, set a stop loss around 217, but best entry is at 190 if we get that. All right, Riot. Under this resistance point, not looking too hot. We need to get above 38 or it's going to drop down to 23. Lucid, I already said I'd be closing. EQNR, Seb, very good. I like that. STNE, oh my God, all right. So I'm going to have to, there's a lot here I'm going to have to go through quickly because I'm not going to have enough time. STNE, Bitcoin. All right, let's look at STNE real quick. I would not touch this personally. This is a good, like, I wouldn't even say good support. This is the bottom. I wouldn't touch this personally. Bitcoin, TC, BTC, USD. Yeah, Bitcoin's looking like, unfortunately, it's probably going to drop down to 48,000 within the next couple of months, but very good buy down there. Could continue to see a breakout, but the weekly is looking a little weak. Looking like it might drop into the 48 to 50,000. Could be a good entry there. AMC. AMC's actually for the next couple of months looking pretty damn good. As long as we can hold like 40. Snap, yeah, probably gonna drop down to 49 and then bounce. Ryan, thank you. I saw that you just said that too. Yeah, it's probably gonna see that. Tilray just needs volume. I was in a position on Tilray. I did end up exiting it for a very, 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 very small profit. Not a bad idea for this, but it just needs more volume. We just really need more volume. QC, great job, bro. Thank you very much. Mara went over that. It does look like Mara will probably drop to 43 if we can't hold this, but we are doing a good job of holding 55. All right. I'm going to have to hop off. I'm not going to be able to go through all this. Nazi, when's your next live stream? My next live stream is every Sunday at 3 p.m. If you do want to live stream with me every single morning, though, I do have a private mentorship group. The link is in the description. You get access to all the courses. You get to live stream with me every single morning. You get to work with me and the team. It is a lot more of a hands-on approach. And if you want to just get access to our trades, which have a 92% success rate, you can do that by joining the Discord and then upgrading for $20 a month. I might add another free stream during the week, like on a Wednesday, but I'm already so short on time. It's pretty tough. I wish I knew you were doing this live stream. Yeah, normally they're every Sunday, so you can always go back and rewatch them because a lot of the ones like we've already talked about. Let me just go through these quickly. Corsair, Andreas, Corsair is like, thing just does not move. I like Corsair long term, but short term there's just not enough volume to do anything, unfortunately. Lemonade sitting down here around this bottom, broke support. Lemonade's probably gonna drop to 47. Dollar Tree, DLTR. Oh my god, fucking Dollar Tree. I was buying Dollar Tree and Dollar General heavy. but I don't have it anymore. I would not touch Dollar Tree personally. If you're already in it, let it ride or take profits, but I wouldn't touch it now. MMAT, I would not touch this. It's way too much risk. MVIS, looking like we're going to drop a little bit more and then bounce. SQ, I think we're going to end up continuing to fall. That much selling all at once is good. It's going to snap on the short sellers' faces. Very true. BNGO needs more. BNGO for Nas, that needs way more volume, unfortunately. Not looking good though. Think about buying Tesla at a low VWAP for overnight swing is a good idea. It's not bad. The issue is like it depends on what you're trading. Like if you're trading shares with it, with Tesla, it's not a bad move. But I tell all my people like you cannot. I don't recommend trading weeklies or even monthly options on Tesla. The implied volatility is just way too hard. It's just really not worth it. DBX long term, still waiting for an entry. I fucking love Dropbox long term. I still have them. Very, very good. Dropbox long term is fucking amazing. It is literally like storage, but for the cloud. Like, think about storage facilities. Like, one of the best real estate investments you can have is a storage unit, right? Like, you just hold people's shit. You have minimal amounts of upkeep, like a couple workers. It's amazing. And then if people, you know, they need their stuff, they're gonna pay for it. It's the same thing with online. It's amazing. MVIS, Chris Forbes, thank you so much for all your time, effort, and expertise, Peter. Absolutely my favorite channel. Thank you so much. That's what I'm here for. Just don't want to burn myself out. But no, you guys are fucking amazing. Love your channel. Thank you so much. Thank you guys. Yeah, so yeah, that's the stream. Does anyone have any questions briefly on trading? Not like a specific ticker, but questions on trading or something along the lines of trading. I might do like a Wednesday stream where like we don't look at tickers. I just answer trading questions. But yeah, because if not, I can go on forever. I need some coffee and food. I've been fasting since last night. Will the end of the year be good or will we have a market crash? I personally think December will be very, very, very well. Very, very good. I think that early next year will be pretty bad. The one from Siren on what was your question, Siren? The one on why is small caps selling off? I think it's just sector rotation. We usually see the end of the year for big money buying the shit out of it. What do you do for your long-term investments? It's a good question. Great sessions. Thank you so much. Thank you. You think insider selling always means stock dropping? Most of the time, yeah. If there's insider selling, usually that tends to happen. It just depends on how much they're selling. Like, you have to realize the media fucking screwed. Like, I did that video on Tesla yesterday where it's like, you know, the whole news for Tesla in the past couple of weeks has been like, you know, Elon's selling a significant amount. Like, he's really not. He owns a lot more than what he's selling, and they just make it seem that way. But insider selling is important. Great session. Thank you so much, Rauf. I think that's how you say it. Tim, what do you do for your long-term investments? I don't have many long-term investments right now because I do not think that there is many stocks undervalued, and I will only buy like anything if it's undervalued. I will only buy a property if it's undervalued. I will only buy a stock if it's significantly undervalued. There's not much undervalued. My long-term investments right now is, besides real estate, is Dropbox, VRTX, Sam Adams. I actually think Sam Adams is undervalued. GAN, GAN. They do like the back end for gambling. I do have Smile Direct Club, but that's just like a YOLO. Like, I have to look into that company. It's been a while. And that's it. GAN, Dropbox, VRTX. That's it. But normally I would have more long-term investments. I just don't think that the market's very undervalued. I did have Uber at like $15, $16 for a long time, but I sold it around like 30. Big money's tricking us with the support levels. They are. Big money does nothing but trick you. It's unfortunate. That's why I try to invest or try to trade on a longer term time frame, because it's very hard to get tricked that way. Ahmed, thanks. I would love to know how you use Fibonacci retracements within your analysis. I love Fibonacci's. Honestly, a Fibonacci on a longer time frame is amazing. So basically, if we just let's just take what's a good stock? We can go briefly. Apple. Let's just use Apple because I don't have one set. One of the first things like I do with the Fibonacci is I always look at 1 year. So I'll tap 1 year, and then you take the Fibonacci tool and you start from the low of the year, and then you go to the high of the year. And you will see that with all of these levels, these things tend to set up pretty perfectly. And I like to find my entries around like the 0.38 and the 0.5 Fibonacci level. But I have a video on Fibonacci's right now. Hang on my other channel. My other channel talks more about it. Peter DeCarlo, Fibonacci. Here we go. I'll put it in the description. There you go. Let me see. Did you get a chance to look at insider selling for Palantir? I have not. I'll have to look into it though, but I'm pretty sure Alex Karp did sell. I think it was like 42 million or something like that. What to do is you're holding small caps that are beaten down. Is January, February better for small caps? Seasonality really depends. Like you can look on our Discord. If you come over to the options section, you can type like TR-seasonality. And then you can type in like Palantir, like whatever it is. Palantir is not going to have the best seasonality because it hasn't IPO'd for a while. It depends on like what your time frame is and how long you plan to hold the small caps. What's your favorite indicator to determine a stock buy entry? Okay, my favorite indicator. I'll go through and I'll put everything that I hold for weight. So the most important thing I look for. 1, unusual options buying. This is because big money knows way more than us, so I'm going to trust them. Number 1. Number 2, I look at the overall trend. Number 3, I look at a pattern. This is before I look at any indicator. Number 4 would be 200 MA, 22 EMA, 11 EMA. And then I look at something like MACD, RSI. So let's look at something like Apple. Let's look at Facebook, because Facebook is one that I actually took a position in, and I'll explain to you why I took the position. So back around the 15th and the 16th of October, we had a ton of unusual options activity. Ton. Big money was buying the living shit out of this out until January, February. If you zoom out, we are at a major support line here. So very first thing, like I said, unusual options activity, they're buying the living shit out of it. Second thing, what's the trend? The trend is up and we are at the trend line here. Very, very strong. The third thing I look at is the pattern. Well, the pattern that we had here was an inverted head and shoulders forming. Then I look at the 200 SMA, which it's holding the 200 SMA, one of the strongest indicators that we have. Then I look at the MACD RSI. That's the order. Because unusual options flow, big money knows more than we do. They find out news before we do. Like Pinterest, we played this massive pins breakout because they thought that, you know, we were going to see PayPal purchase them. You're the best dude. Thanks. Thank you, Ahmed. Thank you for being a part of the community. Where do you think Tesla will be at Monday? I think we'll see a good push tomorrow. I don't necessarily know a specific price though. Where do you see unusual options flow? So, okay, so I use a company called Black Box Stocks. It's amazing. It's $100 a month. For 95% of you out there, it is not worth it because it's kind of like, sorry, I need water. It's kind of like reading a different language. You might get the best software, but like if it's not in the language that you understand, it's not worth it. If you don't have time to sit here all day, it's not worth it. But we have a bot that will show you all the unusual options activity. You have to type it in yourself. So you have to type in like TR-Big Flow Tesla. We spend $200 a month on this bot, but it's completely free for you guys. Why did I? Oh, I didn't type it in. TR-Big Flow Tesla. We spend $250 a month, I forget, on this bot, but it's completely free for you guys. If you don't want to do it yourself and you just want alerts, you can upgrade to the $20 a month and you will get all these alerts and you'll get access to all of my trades. So I physically hand post all of these unusual options activities that I'm watching, the highest possible flow that I am watching. It's $20 a month. Armand, I'm very good on option entry prices, but I can't hold for a 5x return. What indicator do I use? There is no indicator to give you a 5x return. I personally would never even shoot for a 5x return. It is not sustainable and stable. I really wouldn't. I would say that for everyone here, you should be shooting for 4% return per month. Maybe even 2% return per month. If you can actually make 30 to 50% return a year for the next 30 years, you'll be more fucking rich than you could ever fathom. Do not worry about making 5 times return on your money, Armand. I wouldn't even recommend you try to do that. It is not worth it. It's not sustainable. Yes, you can have those types of returns, but who does that day in, day out? There's nobody. Thank you for your time and knowledge. No problem. Boss, is there a free tool for the unusual? Yeah, it's in there. Don't know if it's in premium or regular. There is a free one, like I said, in the regular, but there is one for premium. Boss, premium is well worth it. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. Have a good holiday. I won't see some of you guys till next Sunday. If you are part of the group, I'll see you guys over there. You can check it out. It is completely free, and you can upgrade if you want. But if not, just come hang out. It's a great community. We're like 2,500 people strong. And it really is the best solid community out there. Where there's no toxicity, there's no being an asshole to each other. Like it's just a great community, guys. Have a great weekend. Thanks for all the support. I'll see you. Peace.